Do you enjoy tobacco fragrances? Are you looking for something new that's beast mode? Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome to my channel, Aromatics. Today we're going to be talking about a newer fragrance. This is by a brand that you might not have heard of, and it's really good. You guys, this stuff, before we even start the video, is beast mode. A lot of the offerings from this company has been nothing short of beast mode. Today's fragrance comes from Ibraheem Alqurashi, and it's called Dominican Tobacco. This is one fragrance of many of this basically tobacco line or series. They've got Jamaican, they've got Cuban, they've got Dominican and Spanish, and there might be a couple more like Mexican. The notes on this are a little unusual, but the fragrance has just been wow. Basically, this looks like a cigar. The box just looks like a standard Cuban cigar box. Check out my Instagram. I do all of the unboxings, and even here on YouTube, I've got unboxings on the shorts for that very purpose. So if you could see on the top here, we have Ibraheem Alqurashi written all across the top in English, and then we also have it in Arabic. And I switched the orientation because of the fact that in Arabic you would read right to left versus in the USA in English we read rather from left to right. Okay, so Ibraheem Alqurashi, Dominican Tobacco, and this is an extrait de parfum. This is the bottom, there's really nothing there, and the cap definitely snaps into place. Very sturdy cap. So there's the click. It's got a matte finish, the gold is nice and polished. And that's pretty much it for the presentation. The notes, you're gonna notice that Eastern fragrances are a bit unusual. So as you can see, Dominican Tobacco, we have cinnamon, we got some saffron, and we've got that orchid. These are basically the notes that are important to note here. We do have that lavender in the top, which does something as well in this fragrance. And let's just go ahead and get this on a tester strip and talk about what you're gonna get with Dominican Tobacco. So here we go. Right off the opening, guys, you're gonna get a hefty dose of basically this pungent tobacco. Extremely pungent, very natural smelling. It is a hint animalic with the tobacco notes. So it's very earthy, reminiscent of some soil. You get some lavender. It gives this a nice aromatic feel. It softens this out. And in the background, you have this honeyed indolic orchid. And indolic is just a fancy term for basically waxy or something that just seems fatty, thick, almost like a jam, right? And so that orchid does kind of play a role later on, more so than in the beginning. But in that beginning, you're going to get a hefty dose of some spicy cinnamon. It's not really in the forefront, but it's there. The forefront player here is going to be that Dominican tobacco. So earthy, pungent, softened out with this lavender, and you get a hefty dose of cinnamon. There is that honeyed background feel that's coming from the orchid, and on tester, it shows itself a lot sooner. But on skin, I noted that it really didn't show itself until after the first hour. So the first hour, you're gonna get this pungent tobacco. It's a beautiful, naturalistic smelling, pungent, earthy tobacco. And so this basically draws an image of a honeyed cigar, a realistic honeyed cigar. And as it starts to dry down, the orchid really starts to become a bit more prominent. For those of you that are more trained, you're gonna definitely sense the orchid. You'll be able to pick it out. It sticks out like a sore thumb. But for those of you who just enjoy fragrances, you're not really gonna be able to say, oh, that's orchid or anything like that. But rather it translates into like this honey feel. You're gonna sense a honey. Concentrate the tobacco in Tabacolor by about 2. Concentrate the honey plum by about 3. And then add a little bit of a pungency to it. That's essentially what you're gonna get with this. This basically makes Tabacolor seem like PG-13 versus rated R. This basically does Tabacolor in a more niche type of DNA. I have to mention that this is absolutely not a dupe of any fragrance. I'm just drawing that mental image so you can get a better idea of what lane this fragrance really drives in. And in my opinion, it's a more adulterated version of a Tabacolor type of fragrance. The tobacco lasts for a hell of a long time. Some of those green nuances from the neroli definitely carries on that the life of the tobacco. The tobacco does kind of transition into the green accords or facets from that neroli, so it's really the life of it is carried through down into the dry down, regardless of you don't really see a tobacco in the dry down, but this is balanced and blended in a way that you're not really ever going to drop off the feeling of tobacco. And then the saffron in the base kind of does this thing where it does carry on some of that spice of the cinnamon down into the dry downs. A lot of these notes are pretty much designed or organized in a way that they kind of dry down into each other and they kind of just hand off the pull onto the next. So basically everything kind of just transitions smoothly into the dry down, but throughout the entirety of the fragrance, you're gonna get a different experience. So absolutely worth the money, guys. Dominican tobacco is worth checking out, just like a lot of these Ibraheem Alqurashi and just Middle Eastern fragrances. For me, this is a refreshing difference, and it's a refreshing change in my opinion. And I think that a lot of you niche snobs or niche lovers will definitely appreciate some of these fragrances. So let's talk about the performance. Nuclear. I sprayed this 3 times, took a shower, wore another fragrance, and guess what? This was still slapping through it. You guys, I put on 2 different French perfumes after this one, and I could smell this just piercing through it, like impaling the other fragrance I was wearing, literally. So all I could see through the fragrances I was wearing was this cap just sticking through all of it. So you might not have heard of these, you might have heard of these, and there just really isn't many reviews, so I'm extremely proud to bring these and very excited for you guys to try them. Have you tried Dominican tobacco? Let us know down in the comments. What's your experience like with Ibraheem Alqurashi? Let's try and get each other comfortable with trying some of these Eastern perfumes. So share your experience, negative or positive. I'd love to hear back from you guys. If you enjoyed watching this video, do me a solid, scroll down, hit that subscribe button, check out all the links and the discount codes where you can find coupons to where you can purchase this, which is a couple of different websites. So save you guys some money by using those codes. And until the next video, peace.